Hello and welcome to this week's bonus episode. This is a segment where we're going to recap some of the biggest podcasters and their message for the week. So
you don't have to.
That's right. I said to Lindsay the other day, hey, I don't have enough time and I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to begin when it comes to all of the experts in the self-development category, right? So you've got Keisha with Empower Her. You've got Lindsay Schwartz with Powerhouse. And you have
Lori Harder
from
Earn Your Happy.
And he said she should, which is not easy to say.
Yes. I mean, and sometimes we don't always get he said, she said, but I like those episodes.
Yeah, I like them as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what we've decided to do is recap them for you. You're going to get all of it right here. Think like drunk history meets self-development recaps.
Yeah. Or it should be like, she said, she said, she said, he said, she said.
Good one. Okay. So with that, let's dive right in. Let's talk about Empower Her's message, Keisha's message this week.
Okay. So Keisha's message was about how to get clarity and questions to ask yourself about I'll just dive right in. What would you accomplish if you had 7 years, 7 months, 7 days to live, and not just who you want to spend time with? And what would you want to accomplish? Not like who would you be with?
Okay.
That was the descriptor. What did you say?
Okay, in my opinion,
mm-hmm.
Keisha's 777. I think it should be called 7 years, 7 months, 7 days, and 7 seconds.
Oh,
because so she was saying like what would happen in that time frame. Like she also talks about legacy,
mm-hmm.
right? What would you do? What would you be your legacy? Now, in one point, I feel like there was a little bit of a juxtaposition because in one sense, she's like, if you're living in alignment, you don't really care what other people think because you're fulfilled and it comes from within. Now, on the other hand, she talks about legacy. What are people going to think of me? What are people going to say about me? Now, I say to that, I'm dead. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
And in those here's what I say about the 7 seconds parts. You know where you can affect change or impact my life, impact others, including myself, are within those 7 seconds. If they like you, they like you, whether you're alive or dead. Right. And that's where things can happen in 7 seconds. So then you could build on it. Right. Because I'm like, if I had 7 days or 7 hours left, all I would do is like kick it with my dogs. I gotta be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd spend an hour together.
I know. I'm like, we would really hang out. If I had a week left, I would hang out with you, hang out with my dog, hang out with Austin, like hang out with my family. That's it.
I wouldn't even hang out with my family.
Yeah. I think the point is like, if you only had that limited amount of time, are you doing what you're doing now? Is that what you would be doing with that time?
Okay. And then real quick, and then we'll move on to the other two, is, episodes previous, we talked to Ken Rutherford, who had a very near-death experience. And he said in that very moment of near-death experience, he was able to see the life that he wanted to live. Now, we asked Ken, and we're going to ask the question again, how do you get that clarity without having a near-death experience? I don't know that answer.
Yeah.
So is it like sensory deprivation in the woods? Is it starvation? I don't know, because like just sitting quiet sometimes doesn't really do it for me.
Once we get to Lori.
Okay. All right. So how about Lindsay's Powerhouse
Women? So her episode is about strengthening your intuition to find clarity. So clarity was a theme for 2 out of the 3.
Yeah. How do they know?
I know. Like, is there like a conference going on? Like, okay, this week we're talking about clarity, and this is what we're going to do with this. But maybe they're all just talking to each other, so then they have the same ideas.
I don't understand.
I don't know. But she had 3 ways to create clarity in your life. So number 1, learn to create margins.
Yep.
So clear the chaos out of your life because it's very hard to have any clarity on anything when there's just like noise coming at you at all times.
Right.
Number 2, stop consuming other content so much. I'm a big believer in that.
I am as well.
Deleted my TikTok because of that.
Yep.
And then number 3, clarity is taken through action.
Yep.
I also love that because not only is it taken through action, like, is this going to work out or is it not going to work out? Once you take a step forward in one direction, you can feel like, I don't know if I like that direction. I'm going to step back and try.
Yep.
Option
like
B.
your TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Here's my take on this. No one's going to like what I'm about to say.
Ooh.
What is she? She is describing praying.
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes people have a hard time like, what's manifestation? Or what is meditating rather? What is meditating? Meditating technically is like praying. Now, no one likes that. But here's the catcher. Sometimes I can't find the answers when I look to myself. Like I become like hopeless and I don't know. But where I can find answers is when I look to someone else and I put that burden on someone else. So if we're hung up on the word prayer, this is my suggestion. You're not praying to God, pray to your dogs. Because the letters are in there. And I swear to God, if my dogs could talk, they would tell me what to do.
That's true. They would be like, you know what? We do what we want to do every single day and we're so happy. You do what you want to do.
No, but then they'd be like, we noticed you get pretty happy when you do this. So maybe suggest doing that. So maybe if we look to someone we like implicitly trust, like to our core, whether it's like our pet rock, our dogs, maybe someone who's passed away, but something, or even like a painting or something that just makes you like, gives you joy. And you're like, I look to them rather than me to give me the answers. Then that is what, maybe that's what she's describing.
And then I feel like sometimes I look for too many outside answers and then there's too much people telling me what to do. And I'm like, no, now I'm confused. Now I don't know what to do. So then I have to go back to meditation / prayer / just sitting in silence and breathing to just like try to get my body to say a full body yes or no. And sometimes that's really hard when you are getting all this other input from other people.
I think getting a full body no is just as good as getting a full body yes. Because you're like, oh, this isn't the answer. Pivot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move it along.
All right. Here we go. He says, she said.
On Earn Your Happy.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question was, what is the thing that really drives you and keeps you motivated?
I find this one challenging.
Okay. So there's Chris and then there's Lori.
Oh, these two.
I like love these two, but it's just like funny to listen to it because Chris is like, I'm so naturally motivated. And he's like, I'm just naturally like motivated to want nice things and like have beautiful things, beautiful spaces and beautiful people around me. Like
I was going to say that. I gave you that word. He's like, I want to do nice. I want to do beautiful things and beautiful places. He stopped just short of saying beautiful people. But I feel it was like a tight end who's like right to the end zone, catches it and like doesn't go out of bounds. So he caught himself before he said beautiful people. Okay.
Yeah. And then Lori is like, well, there's the pain of not having the things that you want to experience. I can relate way more on that level than like wanting to have beautiful things because like I think I want to go to a concert last night and that just wasn't happening. I was like, you know what? I just keep a running tally of all the things that I'm not able to do at the moment because I don't have the freedom in my life to do it at this time. So maybe that'll just be like more of a motivating factor.
Agreed. Now, here's what my take on Lori and Chris.
Yep.
They are like Grecian gods and I am a human mortal. These two are so now, don't get me wrong. I love them. And someday I hope to be like 1/10 cool enough to be in their presence and hang out because I do think I'm cool, but I don't think they know me. And I just feel like I'm nowhere in their orbit, but I would like to be. But they are so above the clouds that I'm like, they're like, oh, the lake house and da-da-da. Yeah, I want all those things. I can't even like get my ass in gear to like get my little podcast over the end of the end zone. So I don't know.
I think, yes, because like where they're at in their lives, they're like, what if we didn't have the time to have like 3 houses and like spend time?
And he was like, oh, if I couldn't get another collector's cart. I'm like, I can barely get an oil change.
I am like, what if I didn't have a car? Like, maybe we should back it way up to like people on our level.
I was like, you're not talking to me. And if anything, I'm feeling worse, you guys. Like, do you remember what it was like to be like semi-broke and like a regular folk?
That was probably like 10 or 15 years ago for them because they've been
in
the game for a long time.
They are like above. They're like real celebrities talking to regular people, and they're like, "Our lake house. We're so excited we got it. I'm excited you got it too. Now invite me.
Yeah, invite me. I would love to be there too. It's in Wisconsin.
I don't have an MLM.
No, I've learned that in all the podcasters that we really like, they've had a very successful MLM background. So I think there's something with having an MLM. You have to be like aggressive almost in your I'm like very intentional and very self-motivated, and being able to like be creative and push through all the hard times. So I think that's a very common theme.
Okay, I got to jump in. You said motivated. Okay, I have to tell this story. I was thinking about it when we were getting prepared for this. One of the worst things I've ever heard in my life was I had an old boss at the patent company about 15 years ago. And she told me, like, quote unquote, you should never be an entrepreneur because you do not have what it takes.
Oh.
Bitch, why did you have to say that? I've been thinking about it pretty every day when I'm like, I'm not doing the damn things. And she's like, I can hear her. She's like, you should never, because you don't have what it takes. And I don't know why. I wish I could let that go.
Oh, I would use that spite and be like,
I'll
show you what's up. Like, I'm going to have a bigger business than you.
I usually do take spite, but it just really cut me to the core. And that was before everyone was like, you can't do it. You've got it. Like, those were still hard knocks days where they're like,
Yeah.
But she doesn't work there anymore, so maybe that's why.
I do have to say, like, the weekly roundup of the shows from last week, I think clarity was a good thing to focus on. And then also, like, what does keep you motivated.
But sometimes that's pressure. That's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
Like, and what if I'm not getting the answers? If I had the answers, I'd be doing them.
But also sometimes when you have all the answers, it's like, is it really that easy?
No, it is not. I'm saying if it was, I'd be doing that too. I don't know. Or maybe it's not as hard as I think it is. There's a chance that's true.
Yeah, that could be true too. So I don't know. Maybe you should go through the clarity exercises some more.
I'm going to pray to my dogs.
Pray to your dogs.
Dear Butch and Sunny.
I'm going to meditate extra long.
Extra long?
Extra long.
I mean, they're saying the same thing, right?
Yeah.
They are the same thing.
This is the same thing. And this is what I realized this last week. So I meditate and I journal every single day, but it's gotten to the point where I'm going through the motions of doing it. Okay. So usually I do like a silent meditation and like a little manifestation, write my words, gratitude, whatever.
Is it working?
No. So I'm like... Yeah, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hop on YouTube. This is what I want in my life. This is the kind of meditation I want. Brainwash me to be like this.
I think it's hypnosis. I think it's nighttime hypnosis. You got to throw on your AirPods or whatever I just got, and I think you got to listen to it. I think I have to like try more.
Yeah, so I think moral of the story is just like switch up your routine a little bit and take everything that everyone is saying with a little bit of grain of salt and take like 1% of what we're saying, because I get overwhelmed listening to all of this consumption and ideas coming in. So just take what works for you. And if it doesn't work, pivot, try something else.
Yeah. Which she said.
Yeah. She said.
She said. I'm going to continue to report back and see if I can. Because I was like, come on, self. We can do it. No one can do this but us.
I think also
like you as like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, also you need some patience.
You have patience.
I do have patience.
Mm-hmm. Not like patience that you help.
Multiple levels of patience.
Well, how much patience do I have? I don't have that much time. 7 months, 7 years, 7 days, 7 seconds.
What would you be doing in 7 years?
God willing, I will be on a national stage doing this.
Okay. What would you be doing in 7 months?
God willing, I will be on a national stage doing this, like impacting and affecting change.
7 days.
I don't know. Nothing.
I'm hanging out.
Just kicking it.
Kicking it. 7 seconds.
Packing for power. I don't know. So yeah, this is kind of where I struggle. But I look forward to reporting back, maybe seeing what they have to say next week.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yep. So
they've got the answers.
Yeah. Maybe we have the answers. I don't know. Let us know if you learned anything about this. Let us know if you like this segment, if you want a recap, or if you just want to have like one recap on one episode. So yeah, just let us know like what you like, because we're all just besties talking about our mindset and praying and dogs over our smoothies.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. And here we are trying to add value. Like, we got it for you. We'll say all the things under 20 minutes, get in, get out. And then just do what makes you feel good. You got this.
You got this. All right. We will be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer: this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.